Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. It's a fun day. We have what I like to think of as a jack in the box. You remember those old wind up metal cans? Jack in the box? Well, this watch is along those lines. Check this out. I'm going to pop this out of here. Mo, what does it say? Little metal can says, "No more time, Bosco. No more time." I wonder what they mean by that with there's a watch inside of here. Boslin. Never heard of them. Have you? Me either. Well, wait till you see this thing. I'm going to show you a picture before I open the can. Look at that interesting watch. This is actually their website. Says Boslin up there, and when you get in here, you could actually order this. As far as I know, it's the only place. And in the show notes, I have a link to go to their website with a coupon. Ready? 30% off everything they sell for the whole month of April 2019. Yeah! So when you see this one, wait till you see some of the other ones. Very interesting. What's it got in it? It is the W30. We're going to open it up and see it. Basic stuff, heart rate trackers, your push notifications and reminders, ties with your phone with Bluetooth. You can shake it to get a picture on your camera, passometer, that's your step count. It's got an interesting sleep tracker that works, slept with it last night, and speed measurement, it says. Men, women, you got it. There's the dial size, the watch strap size. It uses an IPS high-definition color screen, and it is really bright. So bright it might wash out the camera. We'll see what happens. A reasonable battery. I haven't tested the battery life on it, but we'll see. Colors are black, red, and blue you can get it in, and that's what it's packed with. Now, when you see it, you're going to see a watch that has an interesting watch face. It's got a rotating globe in here, and it's got all this stuff, all the different cities around the world, and it says that the outside ring clockwise shows stuff, and the inner ring is the minute hand, and interface functions are all around the edges. You just got to see it to see what it does. And let's do that. Let's see it. A metal can. I love this. After I'm done, I can use it to save money in quarters and pennies and things. No more time, Bosco. Another reminder. There's the watch. This is how it comes in this nice little box. It's kind of held in with a little bit of rubber that you pull out. When you pop out the really colorful cover inside, get in here, you've got that spongy thing that held that in. Now we get to the charging cable, and this is a first. I don't know why it's a first. Kind of scares me that it's a first, but this cable, standard magnetic coupling, 2-pin charging cable, nothing fancy, nothing new, except it's got the warning in here. Check that out. Yeah, scares me too. Let me show it to you in English. It basically is saying, make sure when you're not using it, you unplug this end from the power, okay? Because it being magnetic, the joint could easily suck. Is that an okay word on video, suck? It is if it's in print. It will easily suck with a metal and burnt the magnetic interface, cause potential safety hazards. So I've always wondered about this, and I guess it's true. If that were to tap into and attach to a metal object and short the pins out, is what I think they're trying to say, you could fry whatever you're using to supply the power. So good rule of thumb for all of your magnetic coupled, contact. Look at that. Just doing that would do it. Unplug it. Unplug it when you're not using it. That's the charger. Let your life be more colorful. How could it possibly be more colorful than what we do here? Yeah, okay. I know. I talk too much. There's Chinese. There's English right over here, instruction manual. And ladies and gentlemen, you get to see a new app today called RaceFit Pro. You can get it by scanning the QR code, especially if you're on iPhone, because you can get the Android version just by clicking on the link in the show notes down below. That'll take you to the Google Play Store, and you can download it right to your phone. Here again are product information, specs, and such. And notice IP67 waterproof. I didn't see that over on the other sheet. So that's really good to know. You can get this thing underwater. We have 5 different buttons on here. A, B, C, D, E. It's this middle one, B, that actually turns it on and off with a long press. And then you get into this really interesting opening and one of the watch faces. The other ones look like this and like that, apparently. And folks, there's something brand new about this. I'll show you when we get to it on the watch. And other watch companies, pay attention, because this is something you're going to want to migrate to, I think. Long press this button to enter the watch info interface so you can tie in your Bluetooth, tethering it to the app. We've done that already, and it's all set up. And then here's the different watch functions. And you see the overall app display stays the same, but the little inside part changes to the different function that you have going on. Ding! That's the new thing. Here you go again. Now notice that the analog watch face is in the upper right-hand corner. But notice that as you cycle through the functions, the watch face stays the same, but inside that little circle changes. And it's in a different location on the watch than these. Have you ever seen that before? Where the different phases you go through actually just change from within a larger overall watch face? Are you thinking? Yeah. Here's another display with digital right here instead of the little spinning globe with funny little pointers around the edge. If you really want to be able to see the time, you got that one too. And those are all of the layouts of beautiful color brochure. Those are the layouts of how they appear to you in each of the different displays. Here's the pedometer display information. It's basically, your distance traveled, calories burned versus step count. You got heart rate, sleep monitoring, and all of this stuff syncs back to the new app you're going to see. The use of the watch button functions. You can, as you'll see on the left-hand side, you can press some buttons and get into kind of a fitness mode over here. And it looks like you've got data that will show up on that. You got continuous heart rate monitoring with it. On and on and on. You can set alarms, health reminders, message notifications, and the brochure here gives you all of that information. So anything you want to see in detail after you got this, come on back, run your YouTube, and just freeze frame it on the section you'd like to read. That's why I pause on each of the pages so you can do that. Okay, we've looked at the manual. We've looked at the fancy packaging. We've studied the wire. And most of all, we've enjoyed the metal box that it came in. Now, it's time to get into the watch itself. Wow. Okay, they've even got a protector on the silver clasp. A nice TPU band. Doggone, it sure looks removable, doesn't it? I think it is. And it did. And there we go, the rotating globe, and boom! Yeah, I thought we're going to be oversaturated with the light because the darn thing is so bright. There, I can barely give you a display of what it looks like. There, my multi-million-dollar studio lighting system. Get enough flashlight in the background and it'll make the camera soften down so I can show you the screen. Let's go forward through it. From that round ball that you saw, and I can click once, I get into the digital time. If I click again, I get into step count. Now it is tiny digits, that's my only complaint. It's really challenging to see. Step count, calories burned, distance traveled, your heart rate. If you hold on here, you'll get that. There's last night's sleep time, the selfie camera, the total battery charge in an icon, find your phone, and we're back to the rotating globe. The hour hand is that little dot right there. Whoops, I went back to time now by touching it. And the minute hand, anyway, is somewhere here. Come on, give me back the globe. There we go. The minute hand is right there at the 10, I think. Anyway, they're little icon things right there. That's the display, as you see, in the little circle in the very middle here. Now, if I push this upper button here, I switch to a different watch face, and look, I get all of these same parameters in the upper right-hand corner of the display with a rotating globe and something going on here, and just a fancy, colorful overall display. If I tap it again, a couple of times there, I get into that one or that one. So you have the rotating globe with the time, and then you have that digital one with the time, and then you have that one. So those are the three different displays. This is a forward, this is a back button to go through all of those sequences, and this button here doesn't do anything if you press it. There it goes. If you get a good press on it, it'll start a counter, and it's doing your overall heart rate and step count versus time. So it's like your little exercise workout thing. And that's pretty much what this watch does. It doesn't have a lot of great features, no EKG, no GPS, none of that stuff. It's your standard fitness watch. But when you put it on, it's going to look like this. Now it's just too ugly. Okay, with that bright light on. Not too thick. Heart rate diodes flashing down below. The TPU band is nice. You can set it up for the twist your wrist to see the time. It's in this function mode here. There, we're out of that. There again is that rotating globe display. Hey, it's overall a nice build. Solid steel in the back. Water resistant, IP67. What can I say? Nice, very nice watch. Now, the tethering app, well, that's a bit new and different too. Let's bring it over. Come here, phone. It's called RaceFit Pro, and just to give you their own little pictures so you get to see, then I'll show you mine. When you come in, you can register and log in, or you can go in as a visitor right here. When you get into it, in the data section, you have all of the different information in a bar chart here, your steps, kilometers, and calories burned. You have the ability to access all of these different push systems, whichever one you subscribe to from your phone. You set that up, it'll push a notice. You won't read it on here, but you'll get a little notice that you got something. Here's the opening screen, and this is what it shows you with your target, how many steps you've done. It doesn't have all this W30 stuff, as you'll see. Here you have your real-time heart rate going on, that chart. Here you have a breakdown of your sleep time in different segments, and this summary by week, month, or year available to you, too. And then all of the different settings, which we'll go through right away. Let's bow out of here and open it. RaceFit Pro. There's my actual data, filling up what looks like a little swimming pool to hit a goal of 8,000 calories, your distance traveled, right, in feet. That's interesting. And 9% of the goal has been reached. So we're seeing numbers a little bit different in the way they're presenting it. Scroll down, and your heart rate statistics are here from midnight. I was wearing it, so it was actually calculating heart rate continuously, and now it's jumping up a little bit. And here's your lows and highs and averages and such, and sleep quality. Now this is interesting. Here is a breakdown of light sleep, deep sleep, and awake time. And it caught me a little bit awake before I went to sleep, and waking up in the morning and then rolling over and dozing a little bit more before actually getting up. And it cut it off, of course, once it knew I was actually up. To see the specific details, long press on the graph and move like so, and it shows you the actual time that you were in that zone. So from 2:30 to 3:38, I was in light sleep last night, went into deep sleep for a few minutes between 3:38 and 3:55 and so forth. So that is the presentation of your overall data from last night's sleep. Very interesting, 14% wake time. So you can kind of work on getting your percentages up or down depending on what you'd like to do. If I go down to the heart rate area now and I tap on this, I can go a little bit deeper. Here we go, and I can get my every half-hour actual reading throughout the night, the day, the 24-hour reading. If you don't have it on, it doesn't give you an erroneous reading. It just doesn't give you a reading at all. So I was playing with it a little bit and then taking it off, and then here it was last night while I was sleeping with it too. And of course, all that data is actually accessible here by simply touching and scrolling. At any particular time, you can see the heart rate. So if you want to zero in on an anomaly, a particular time, you can do that. Okay, heart rate, sleep time, and your pedometer reading stuff. That's everything in your basic daily activity. Then you get into data, and here's where you get the summary of yearly, monthly, and weekly. And they're just little bar charts. I don't have anything but 1 day's data, so nothing really to show, but you get bar charts here. Then if you go into sport, these are sporting activities, running or cycling, that you can do. You choose between them, and when you activate them, you can begin a workout. So if I wanted a run, I can tap on here. I get a GPS graph of where I'm located, but unfortunately it's not bringing up Google Maps. So I got my dot, but I don't have the map behind it. It might just be an update they need to do to the app itself to incorporate Google Maps for at least the US. And here's where you get your pace and speed and everything. And this is happening in the phone, not in the watch. So if any of the things that you do here, like I have one here under cycling, that event will show a line of your path, and your basic information will show on here in the app itself, but not from the actual watch. Okay, that's that section. And then overall settings, where you can define your own picture and your profile, and they give me a default nickname of Hale, and all of these things here, and a picture that you can actually change. Of course, you want to update that before you start doing anything. If you are logged in, you can set up connections with your friends and compete with each other. My Device gives you control over the actual unit itself. The flip your wrist to see the time, and regular automatic heart rate monitoring are selectable. You can set Do Not Disturb when you're sleeping at night, 1224, Metric Imperial. The push stuff, your goal settings for sleep time and steps are all selectable here. Health reminders are all of your basic repeat alarms for drinking water, sedentary, all those things. And shake for the camera, which will activate the camera in here, and then shake the watch to take the picture. And then you find your watch, which just gets it to vibrate, and so forth. Okay, and that is everything there is on the app. Now, one last thing. It's available, but not through any of our typical resources yet. But when you look for it, it's the Boslin W30. Okay, that's the ID that it's going by, and it's a sweet little watch. It looks like it's going to have a really nice long battery life to it. I can't really tell you about that yet, but it does look promising. And yeah, you've got lots of different selections, capabilities of changing the watch faces, and again, having the data display in different areas on the watch depending on the watch face. Cool. All right, you've been watching Smartwatch Ticks. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your thumbs up on these videos and your subscription. And welcome, Boslin. I'm glad you're here. Once again, 30% discount on everything in their store using the coupon in the show notes down below for the whole month of April 2019, and it's just starting. Take advantage. We'll see you again soon.